Hi guys, Sil here. I'm gonna be teaching you a lot of things in Cypher. This is gonna be a really big comprehensive guide of all the things that you need to learn on Cypher. So during this video, I'm gonna be probably linking up the timestamps of all the topics that we are gonna be discussing on this video. So just click the link on the things that you want to learn, but be ready because this is gonna be a really long video. And yeah, I think this will definitely help you on how to play Cypher, how to actually spend better on Cypher, and which things you need to prioritize on Cypher. So yeah, let's go. Alright, this is Sipher Odyssey and we're still on the early access. This is an open alpha game. So there are still a lot of things that's being developed and I'm really excited on all the things that is going to be pushed in the game soon. So when you click the start button, this is going to be the first scene or the screens that you are about to see. So the first topic that we are going to be discussing is actually what are the game modes available. So there are three different game modes. We have World Exploration, we have Endless Anarchy, and also we have Arena. We're going to be deeping dive later on which or what are the specifics of each. But for World Exploration, it's definitely just PvE. It's a dungeon crawler. You need to finish all the objectives that you need on the map. And yeah, you get rewarded, as well as Endless Anarchy. Endless Anarchy is from its name, endless waves of enemies coming to you, and you need to keep on grinding up on the game itself, and you're gonna be finished once you die on the game. Next is Arena. So I think this is the best part of the game for me, to be honest, because on Arena you can actually really fight against people around the world. You can fight amongst your friends or even your rivals, and you are definitely gonna be proving your worth and all the hardships that you have done in World Exploration and LSRK. It all boils down to Arena. That's why I'm actually really having fun on this game, because when I actually tested out the Arena game, it is kind of similar to some of the games that we currently have on the market, or some of the old games that we had before, but there's a twist, and definitely that twist is what makes Cypher really different and really fun. But first things first, we are gonna be talking about your ciphers, or we are the ciphers, I mean, and we are gonna be talking about the vessels. So in this game, you have three different vessels, and you can see them on the vessel library down below. We have Inu. Inu is this dog character. We have Buru, which is the tank, as well as the main beef in this game. And lastly, we have Neko. Neko is made to be an assassin. It is agile, it is quick like a cat. So I think I forgot to explain Inu, but Inu is more of our well-rounded, balanced characters. So those are your three main vessels, but each vessels are actually categorized into four different subclasses. First is Canis for Inu. So the only difference that you have for all the vessels or the subclasses on these vessels are the skills. So for Canis, he is actually using explosive speed. So it actually makes him faster. You actually fire the gun faster as well, and you actually have as well movement speed increase. Next one is Bayazi. Bayazi is a poison person. So you actually spawn poison cloud near your character, and everyone who goes near there actually gets poisoned, gets killed immediately, and such. So actually, this is one of the strong vessels in my opinion, and we are never going to be seeing a shortage of a Bayazi in Arena and in the entire game, to be honest. Next is Cyborg. His skill is actually robot turrets. He can actually spawn turrets, or like little robots that can help you battle in this game. I'm gonna be showing you later on how the skill looks like, but I think we can click this one if I'm not mistaken. There you go. For robot terrans, you can actually spawn those little things that can actually help you clear dungeons, kill enemies faster. So let's go back to Canis as well. If you click his skill, explosive speed, you get a temporary buff that makes you stronger in battle. For Bayezi, you can actually poison enemies during in that radius. You can see guys on the screen itself. Everyone who goes near on that cloud gets poisoned and gets 1 minimum damage ASAP. Lastly, for the Inu line, we have Cosmic. And this is one of, for me to be honest, this is one of the hardest to get vessel for some reason because this is also the last one I got. But I think it just really depends on your luck. Steppy actually had gotten hers really early in the game. But me, I think I already played like 2 months before I got mine. So the skill is Supernova, and it actually just drops down that massive meteorite or something, which can actually burn enemies and stun them. And later on, I'm gonna be exploring or gonna be explaining more on the things that makes the other vessels deadly. Next is Buru. Since Buru is actually your textbook definition of a tank, Taurus skill is called Berserk. So just the TLDR version of this one is the more enemies that gathers around you or is near you, the stronger you are. So it makes perfect sense for him because he's actually tanky, always on the front line. So he's gonna be soaking up damage, gonna be taking up and doing the charge in terms of raids and such. So when you actually click the skill Berserk, you get a buff within that radius. If there are a lot of enemies, you get stronger. Next is Mecha. The skill is Energy Shield. So you actually gain a shield for a period of time and it deals massive damage. And that's so much for a tank, to be honest. He is actually tanky, you can soak up damage and you can deal so much damage on that one. So all the damage that the shield did absorb, it will reflect back to the people or to the enemy on that radius. And it is really a strong tool for both defense and offense. And honestly, this is also one of the easiest vessel to use and to get. Because if I'm not mistaken, you can get this for free right away from the game if you do the log and quest. Next is Inferno. The skill is Hellgate. This is a perfect CC or a crowd control skill that sucks everyone inside that radius. And this is a range skill. You can throw it away from your character, as you can see on this video. So after you trap your enemies inside that that black hole, they actually get damage from the explosion. So it's a good skill, especially if you are going to be teaming up with people. But even as an individual skill alone, this is a really strong way to clear. Lastly, we have Ancient. There's somewhat a misconception on how the skill works, but the difference between Buru Ancient and Buru Mecha is that for Buru Mecha, the shield gets destroyed if you reach a threshold. It means that if you take so much damage, it's gonna be popping even earlier than the expected time duration. But it deals a lot of damage. Don't get me wrong on that one. But for Buru Ancient, for a period of time, you are technically invulnerable. Nothing can damage you. Nothing can destroy you. And this is what makes the Buru Ancient probably the tankiest or the best vessel for you to do tank duties. But the main problem for this one, for the Ancient Buru in my opinion, is that its shield is just targeted on itself. You really cannot do a shield on your teammates. Unlike for Mecha Buru, if they are close enough with you, you can actually give them shield as well, and they also share the explosion or the damage that's gonna be done by the shield when it pops. But another thing to compare with the Ancient Buru, all the damage that you have taken up, you're gonna be throwing it into a direction that you are facing, dealing all the damages that you have received during that time period. And it is a very strong counter-attacking skill. So yeah, that's enough for Buru, and now let's hop in to Neko. So first in the Neko line is Necophilis. And the skill is cut out of the bag. So basically, you're gonna be dragging your skill to a target location, and Felis or Necophilis is gonna be jumping there, dealing damage. And while you are rolling or moving to that location, you are invincible, and it means that you can use this as an escape tool or even use this to juke your enemies out. Next is Synthetic, and I think Synthetic has the damage output in PBE when it comes to all the vessels that is currently available. So the skill is Hologram. You can actually spawn a hologram of your own copy to fight for you. You might be asking, what's the difference of Necosynthetic and Cyborg if they both like summon something that can attack for them, right? So the only difference is that Necosynthetic creates a copy of her own. Basically, all the equipments that you put into that character is gonna be replicated. But the damage is a bit reduced, but still this is a stronger copy compared to the robot turrets that the Inu Cyborg has been using or doing. So also at the same time, if you actually double tap, you can see here, it actually plays a hologram away. But if you use the skill once again while the hologram is still there, you are gonna be swapping position with the hologram. So you can use it as well to juke, to outrun enemy as an escape maneuver or what. Next is Facewalker. So this is starting to feel like a definition of an assassin. So from its name itself and the skill's name, Shadow Walk, the main purpose of this skill is to be invisible. You get invisible, everyone near you gets slowed down, and there is an augment that really makes the Face Walker shine. And I'm gonna be discussing that later on when we get into that part. Lastly, we have Chrysalis. The skill is Crystal Cage. Chrysalis actually spawns a really strong damaging skill on a straight line. And I really cannot do an understatement on how much the damage this Crystal Cage can do. And to be honest, I think this is one of the strongest skill available in the game. So yeah, that is all the subclasses for all the vessels that we currently have. So those are the 12 playable vessels that you can use as a Cypher. So next thing that we are going to be discussing are the stats. So this might be really technical and you may skip this part if you want to, but this is something that I would have really appreciated if it was actually known to me when I started playing the game. So here are the different stats that you need to identify. Melee damage is straightforward, your damage while doing your melee attacks. Range damage is also the damage that you are going to be doing when you're doing range. HP is straightforward, just your HP. Now the next one is pre. This is short for precision. So precision basically is like your dexterity in some of your MMORPG games. It is the one that affects your range damage, and this becomes a multiplier as well. So the next one here is strength, and this strength just really pertains to your melee damage. The higher strength you have, the more melee damage you have. The higher your precision is, the higher your range damage is. And you also need to consider the range damage and the melee damage. Maybe sometime in the future, if you guys will love the math behind this one, maybe I can do also a video on what is like the damage calculation or the damage formula, the exact damage formula for Cypher. But for now, I actually haven't had the chance yet, but maybe sometime in the future I'm gonna be doing it, and yeah, I think it's gonna be really fun. We all love math and numbers. So next one is evasion. So evasion just pertains to your defense on range attacks. Next is its counterpart, def or defense. So like precision and strength, this defense is your defense on melee attacks. So even if you pump your defense so high, if your evasion is low, you're still gonna be subjected to range damage. Same goes if you do it vice versa. So for me, I really want to keep it as balanced as possible. And the next one that we have is speed. Speed is how quick your character moves. And these actually varies from vessel to vessel. The fastest unit is Face Walker, while the slowest unit is a Buramecha. And again, the Canis or the Inu line is actually somewhere in the middle. So basically, those are the different stats in Cypher. And now we are gonna be proceeding with the Cyberlab Collective. So we all love a gacha game. Definitely I do. And here are the different things that you can actually roll for. And we have here vessel capsule, which actually gives you vessels with this drop rates. So you can actually just get the shards, or you can even get the actual vessels themselves. And we're gonna be discussing that later on, what to do with the shards. Next is the gear capsule. Gears are your armors. So we're gonna be going later on the equipments, on what are the different types of gear. But yeah, maybe we can just talk about it right now. You have different types of gear. You have gears for let's go here. You have headgears, you have body armors, you have pants or what they call legs, and lastly you have the hands. Oh, sorry, you still have lastly the feet. So you have 5 gears that you need to collect, and this is something that you will be getting when you actually progress in the game. So for me, you actually don't need to really rush into these things, because as you play the game, as you really invest your time and really grind out the game, you are definitely going to be going to a spot wherein you're going to be able to get all the things that you need. So let's go back here. Next is weapon capsules. We're going to be discussing later on what are the different types of weapons and what you want to get on them. Next one is the general capsule. This is more of the RNG type of gacha. Like, you can get anything from vessel, gears, or weapons. So this is really random, and yeah, I actually have gotten a lot of good items in this one as well. And this is somewhat free. So as you can see right now, I have like this 14 blue cores. Maybe we can roll some things right now so you can see how random it is. So here is what it looks like when you open a general capsule. So here are the rarities that is gonna be appearing. So I actually got one epic shoes for my Neko. So you can see it's 4 feet, and on the lower right side there's the vessel who can use that one. So it actually differs. And under on this latter part, you can see the shards of the vessels. So I actually got 4 Taurus shards, and I got 5 Inukanes shards. So in order for you to summon a new vessel, you need 100 of those. So yeah. And here, beside on this 7th slot, you can see like a katana looking item, right? But this is weapon parts. So this is something that you can put inside a weapon for you to be able to make it a bit stronger. So maybe we can jump on that run right now, and we can discuss the other things that you need to worry about here as well. But yeah, let's go to the armory. And let's go in this one. So on the armory, you can craft guns, midis, or your melee weapons, gears, and you can also salvage some items. For me, I really don't use salvage anymore because I really have an abundance of the resources in the game right now. But if you craft a gun, you need some blueprints. So those blueprints can actually be gotten when you do the PvE contents such as the world exploration. Or if I'm not mistaken, it's only available in the world exploration. Because in Endless Anarchy, you can only get the keys as well as the shards for the heroes. So you need blueprints in order to craft material, and for me to craft, even if I have the blueprint, you also need what you call a power core. And for the power core, you need the certain power core for that rarity level, which we are gonna be discussing right now. So there are four or five. I think there are five rarity in this game. So we can actually go to my inventory first and gonna be browsing through that one. So let's go to the lowest rarity. So in terms of the stars and what. So this is the default rarity or the gray ones. I actually don't craft these items anymore because they're really basic, and in terms of progression of the game, you actually don't use them at all because you are going to be having like the availability of better weapons. So that first tier are the green ones, and I think these are the uncommon ones. So if you can see, there's also a star below. And for the the uncommon weapons, you have up to 3 stars. So technically the first weapons that you are able to equip are the uncommon ones with 1 star, the green with 1 star, as I would like to call. And you need to be, you actually don't need to be level 1. You can actually just wear it as up. Next is the blue ones, which is probably the rare ones. So this has like a prerequisite on how to use. So you need to be level 6, and this is available for any race. This is actually what's good with the weapons in terms of the guns. Any race can actually, or any vessels can actually use them. And you really just need to get your levels up in order to use the higher rarity ones. So first one is the green 1 star, which is at level 1. Blue 1 star is at level 6. And as you can see, it just is a progression type. So you get here right now the 2 star for the uncommon ones, which you need to be level 11. The next one is a blue star, a blue rarity with 2 stars, and you need to be level 16. The next one on this one is, if I'm not mistaken, the purple ones, which you need to be level 22. Then the next one for this one are the green ones with 3 stars. So that you need to be level 22 as well. But if I am going to be choosing between the purple 2 star or the 3 star green ones, I'm actually leaning towards more on the purple blue stars. Purple 2 stars, as it has better stats as well as augments, better augments in my opinion, which we are going to be discussing later. But it is actually a case-to-case basis. In terms of weapons, I think higher rarity matters better than the stars. But for the gears, this is actually a bit tricky because of the augments. So list goes on. 3 star for blue is 29. 3 star for purple is 36. And lastly, you have the end goal so far in the game, which is the legendary weapons at level 43. So this is like the pinnacle of all the weapons that you currently have. So next is for midis. It's just basically the same, but for midis, these are classes bound. So for fist, only Burus can use it. For katana or the blades, only Inu class can use it. And lastly, for the whips, only the Neko class can use it. So next is for vessels. So you can have multiple vessels. You can actually upgrade them. And if you upgrade them, you need the same quality or the same stars for them to reach a higher cap. So we're gonna be discussing that soon. Maybe not in this video anymore, but you can actually upgrade them ASAP. You just need multiple copies of them, so you don't really need to level them up ASAP. So that was my mistake when I actually first started the game. I actually tried to level up all the vessels before I actually upgrade them, and it really took me so much time. But right now I learned it, and I don't want you to get the same mistakes as well. Then in this one, you have the gears. So gears is similar on how MIDI works. So you have race specific items. And yeah, it's really just race specific items, and the levels just technically the same, rarity is just the same. So you just need to take note on which item you get and who you are gonna be dressing those equipments to. Next is materials. This is more of the blueprints, the parts that can make your weapon stronger when you actually craft them. You also have here the shards. Like what I mentioned, you need 100 of those to summon. So maybe we can generate this one right now. And as you can see, we have a new Inukanis, which has all this augments. And wow, the augments are really great. The only thing that I'm missing here is like the dash augment, which we are going to be discussing. And I think this is the perfect time to jump into augments as well. So for you guys to get a better grasp on what are the augments, let us go here, go for customization, and click here on augments. So basically, augments are like your runes in the other games, or like your power-ups and such. So this is what makes Cypher really unique and really good for PvP and in competitive gameplay. Because the augments are random, it's really hard to get like specific sets of things that you want, and you really can match a lot of things. Each of the items that you are using has their own augments. Augments are the skills or the upgrades for your Cypher. Even your Cypher alone has its own 6 initial augments. So like for Mechanist, I have this one, 50% dash cooldown, power ups as well. Then even on my weapons, such as on my melee, you can actually have different skills attached to it. So it makes all the items unique, even if it's the same, it looks like the same and such. And that's also one of the things that you need to take note of if you're gonna be doing competitive gaming, because there are augments that is only available on the green tier ones, on the blue ones, on the purple ones, and on the legendary ones. So you need to make sure that you actually do a mix and match of what really works in terms of your gameplay, in terms of your character, and in terms of how you really want to build your Cypher or your vessel. So for me, it's really geared towards damage, as you can see on the skewed damage chart. It's really more the damage with a bit of defense and utility as well. So I think that's basically in augments, or we're gonna be taking so much time if I'm gonna be discussing each augments, but maybe I can create a dedicated videos on just all the augments available in the game. Maybe if you really want to watch the video, just comment it here on the comment section below, and let me know on what are the other things in Cyber that you want to know that hasn't been covered so far in this video. So we actually have discussed already on the augments, the different types and rarity, the levels of the requirement for each of the items that you have in Cypher. I've also discussed the different, wait, we haven't discussed this one yet. The different types of weapon. So this is one of the questions of Steffi before. What makes a different weapon different? So for assault rifles, this is like your long range weapon, like a consistent range weapon. So it has like a power skill at the end. So it's called Iron Surge. We're gonna be showing you that later on when I actually do the game demo already. So this one shoots multiple piercing explosives in the projectile. Is it clickable? No, it is not. So we really cannot show you until I play the game. So this is more of a stable weapon. You can guys try it out, but my favorite right now is it's either the shotgun or the revolver. So revolver is the pistol looking weapon. So can you see this one? There you go. So it has a volley of piercing bullets. So I'm gonna be showing that one later as well on how it works and what does it look like. SMG, you spawn a droid that shoots in front for a small duration. Same thing, I'm gonna be discussing that later. For mortar, this is more of the grenade launcher, so it spawns a wave of bombs from the sky, dealing AoE damage. And then lastly, we have a shotgun which shoots multiple knockback projectiles around you. So you actually need to take note of those things, because this is what really makes the weapons unique. Aside from the normal attacks that you get from them, you are gonna be storing like a power, and it's called Iron Surge, which allows you to use these skills available for these weapons. Maybe I'm gonna be showing later how one Iron Surge looks, and maybe you guys can test it out on what does it look like. And maybe I can actually also create a separate video for the actual looks and the specifics for this one. But I think on this video we are not gonna be really looking at it, because it's gonna be taking so much time. So guys, also don't forget to claim your daily missions and also your weekly missions. And yeah, we are about to test the game, and we are gonna be doing world exploration first. So far in world exploration, it has been divided into 3 different level of difficulties yet, with 10 levels each. So each levels in this one actually has different objectives, such as this one, which has correspondent rewards on them. And here are the things that you can actually pick up on the game or on the dungeon upon clearing it, or just clearing the mobs. Same goes for this one. I'm going to be showing this one. So my objective here is to clear without using skill, and I'm going to be getting this item if I do that. So make sure to finish your objective and your rewards. So for testing purposes and for you guys to actually see and get the feel of the game, we are going to be doing Dopamine 2 and Corrupted, and I'm going to be using maybe an aggressive, because this is actually a new character that I'm trying to level up. So we are gonna be doing aggressive 2, or maybe aggressive 1, just for you guys to see. So I'm gonna be using Inukanis on this one, and let's go. So this is how world exploration goes. You have a limited set of floors that you can actually go grind up, and all you need to do is to actually finish those objectives. So clear all levels, kill all enemies. So I have 8 enemies to kill, and I have 10 floors to finish. So after finishing that one, you get into this next page wherein you're actually asked to select an augment. And again, augment is what makes you strong, and those augments in the world exploration are not they are not activated ASAP. Also, you have on the bottom part the mana. So you only have 3 manas per round, and you can only spend those mana in order to select augments. And those augments cost differently from 1 to 3. So sometimes you can only select 1 augment because you selected 3. Sometimes you can do 2 or even 1. So for here, I'm just choosing everything that I think I need, and I actually remembered them already because I really know my character right now. But for you guys who especially just starting out and playing Sipher, it might take some time for you to get familiar with it, but definitely a time worth spending. And eventually you're just gonna be like me, subconsciously choosing all the things that I think that I need for this one. So this is my attack button, this is my dash button, which makes you invulnerable, and you can actually jump through the walls like this one. And here is the Iron Surge that I was saying. If your attack button, like your melee button, is glowing, you can use the Iron Surge, and it's like a special attack for your melee. So in order to get Iron Surge, you need to use for melee Iron Surge, you need to use range. Well, for range Iron Surge, you need to use melee. So the more you use like the opposite range or melee, the more you get like the way to get the Iron Surge. So I'm gonna be spamming my melee here so you guys can actually see that my Iron Surge for my range attack. So as you can see, my range attack is already glowing, and I'm going to be releasing the Iron Surge for this one. So that is how the Iron Surge for the assault rifle looks like. And this is how my Iron Surge for melee looks like for Inu. And each class has a different Iron Surge. For Neko, it's an explosion besides you. For Buru, it's like a black hole. It sucks everything up and explodes. So those are the things that you need to take note and figure out on which actually works better in terms of your playstyle. So I'm just gonna be finishing this round ASAP so we can actually proceed on the other game modes. And yeah, I think this is gonna be really fun, and this is one of the nitty gritty parts of Cypher when wherein you need to clear, you need to finish dungeons, but at the same time, this is what makes the game exciting because really on the latter parts of the game, it really becomes hard, and this is a really good example so far because this is an Arachne encounter. This is a surprise encounter, like a boss, and you get this item, and I'm gonna be explaining that item later on. So this is on top of like the final boss in that stage, but you need to finish this one out. You have like the option to fight this or not to fight this, but I really suggest you guys to always fight this monster when you have the opportunity because this is actually going to be giving you keys for the Arachne gacha, which actually gives you a lot of good items. So majority of like my legendary equips actually came from that gacha as well. And you only need to fight that one. So even free to play players can actually enjoy that gacha. You don't really need to spend. All you need to do is just kill the giant spider. So we are just 3 stages left, 2 stages on this one before we actually proceed with Endless Anarchy. So for Endless Anarchy, again, this is an a continuous series of enemies similar to this one, but no limit. So let me just finish this one. I really want to finish this one right now because we have the Arachne, and the Arachne key is actually really rare. So that Arachne also spawns randomly. You don't know which floor. Sometimes it spawns even on the boss map already. And yeah, it is the one of the fun things in Cypher. The surprise reactor, the gacha, everything. Just gonna be clearing this one out. And we have just a few more. 10 to go. Let's go, let's go. Okay, and this is our last one. And here is the ending screen for this one. You actually get your runtime, how many floors you've cleared, and all the drops that you actually managed to pick up. And you also get experience on your account. So you have here the challenges, the missions as well that you need to finish, and as well as the achievements. But I think it hasn't been unlocked yet. So we are now proceeding with the Endless Anarchy. And for the Endless Anarchy, I think this is one of the things that you shouldn't actually miss when you're playing the game. So I'm not sure how long we are gonna be running on this one, but if things get a bit too long, I'm gonna be letting myself killed because this is actually one of like the long game mode here in Cypher, but this is also the one that gives you a lot of energy and hero shards. So you go again on an endless floor, so you just need to reach the highest level possible, and every 5 levels you get to go like on a, it's not definitely a boss match, a boss map or something, but it is like a hard map which spawns really strong monsters. So yeah, but so far my character right now is a bit stronger than the enemies on the earlier floors. That's why it looks like it's easy. But later on you're gonna be seeing that even a monster can just one tap you and you're gonna be dying from that one. So this is floor number 5. It says 4 here, but it's 5 or 4 maybe. I'm not even sure anymore right now. So you need to finish this one in order to get more rewards or drops. So every 5 floors is a good floor and you need to finish that one. So usually like my basic requirement here is like reach 20 minimum because you're gonna be getting keys for gacha, you're gonna be getting vessel shards, and if you can go so much higher, I think it's gonna be better for you and for your character. So yeah, here on Endless Anarchy as well, I forgot to mention this one. All of your augments equipped in your character are activated right from the start. That's why my character is really strong right now. but you also get still a chance to have additional augments that is presented to you here every time we clear a level or what. So these are really like strong. To be honest, for me, it's one of the strong augments and things that you really want to think, take a time to think to get because all of them are good. So I'm trying to go as high as possible, but I think I'm gonna be cutting it after like level 11 because we still have a lot of things to discuss and we are gonna be really dragging it down if we actually proceed on finishing this one. So this is the 10th floor. It's here on the 9th. Maybe this is the 10th floor and it just says to me how many floors I've clearance so far. So this is the 10th floor. We're gonna be finishing this one to get the 10th floor reward. So usually the last two monsters that's being spawned are like the tough monsters or the really tanky ones. So as you can see guys, I managed to clear that one out and I'm gonna be letting my vessel die here so we can actually proceed with our next game mode. And my character right now is even tanky even against this ones. And yeah, there you go. There you go, there you go. So you get the challenge here. We spent 3 minutes there. Again, same here goes, and you get this key that allows you to roll in the general banner, and you have shards as well. You also have bite, and I forgot the name of this one, but it is what you use to actually upgrade your weapons. So maybe before we proceed in explaining arena, we can go back again to the inventory because I just remembered it right now. You can upgrade also the weapons. Like for this SMG, I can upgrade it and I can just max it out. And you need that green and that purple currency in order to do that. So make sure to choose wisely on which weapons or gears that you want to upgrade. And lastly, we have here the arena. So for arena, maybe let's jump in on a different video on that one. I'm gonna be doing a recording because it's for right now there are no people queuing in, but you really need 3 people in 1v1v1 and 4 people on this one. So for that one, we also have the leaderboards, and I'm gonna be explaining the leaderboards for arena and endless. So there are different leaderboards for different power scores. So for arena, it's actually divided into 3. Regular, which is power score of your vessel, should be below 13. Veteran should be 13 to 28, while Paragon is 28 above. So how do you know your power score? You go here and you just see the power score here on the right side. So it's 64,000 for me. So for this one, this is definitely a Paragon. So here's the leaderboards, and here are the rewards that you get. You get daily rewards and as well as season rewards. And so far for the season, it only takes 1 week and it always resets on a Monday. So whoever is on top of the leaderboard right now would actually be getting 2,000 of this yellow currency for that week alone. And same thing goes for endless. You have a power score requirement. For rookie, it's 15k below. For expert, it's between 15k to 27k. And for elite is anything above 27k. And also gives you reward depending on the your ranking on the leaderboard. So yeah, I think that is how we go through the leaderboard, and this is something really interesting, and I think Cypher just announced this a while ago, and they are gonna be doing also a play to airdrop campaign soon, and I think this is the perfect timing for you guys to really jump into the Cypher ship and start grinding it while you still have the time and the allowance to play on this period, because once the P2A goes live, I definitely think that it's really gonna be a grind. So better start grinding right now, right? So As mentioned a while ago, we actually saw the Arachne. So we have an Arachne capsule as well, which gives you this good percentage of getting good items, which you can only get here on the Arachne roll. So make sure to get 10 or what, but maybe we can roll some already sometime soon. And yeah, I am wishing to see more of those Arachnes. And lang, I think we have covered most of the things in game, but before we actually finish things, I just want to give some tips on how to play smart maybe from my end, or what is like my routine. So like my first here my first tip here is things that you need to know as a beginner. As a beginner, the only thing that you really need to focus on is grinding, getting your levels up, getting vessels in order for you to power up. So when I actually started playing the game, I hit the 40 level cap for a 1-star vessel. And that really prevented me from progressing into the game. So from there, I actually am going to proceed now with the spending tips. If you are to be spending or doing gachas as a beginner, focus first on the vessel capsule. You may ask me why the vessel capsule. You need multiple copies of your vessel in order to upgrade it. And in order to get those vessels to a 3-star, you need 9 copies of that same vessel. So, like for my case, in order for me to get this Buru Mecha, I need to sacrifice the other 8. So it is really a grind in terms of the vessels. I have so much vessels right now, 150 vessels, but I am still rolling for the vessel capsule. That is one of the tips that I can really give you. And if you're really up to spending or really paying in order to expedite your progress, get the daily supplies V3 and V2, and there's also another daily supply here, which is limited only to 3 copies that you need to get daily, and it is actually a really good deal. As well as you can get this ones, the monthly cards, which gives you ROMs as well daily, and right away when you buy, you get 1 2 ROM. Then playing tip routines. For me, when I wake up, I play Endless Anarchy, because the Endless Anarchy ticket actually regenerates or replenishes. Your energy as well replenishes, but if you really need energy ASAP, you can click that one and you can buy energies, tickets, and arena tickets. So for arena, you need tickets. You are given 5 daily, but if you want to proceed more, play more on the game, you need to buy the tickets on that one. While for Endless Anarchy, your limit in buying the ticket is just available to 2, and you just need to wait um for the refresh or the replenish of those tickets. So again, my playing routine is I play early, play 2 endless, play maybe 3 world exploration, just to do a damage on my energy. Then later on in the evening or in the afternoon, when I'm free or after the work, I actually play endless once again. Then after playing endless on that part, I actually buy everything already, all the endless tickets that I need. And whenever I do endless, I also make sure that I have XP boosters. This actually can make your life really easy. It makes things faster. So if you have the chance to get XP boosters, if you have the chance as well to spend for the higher ones, get it, guys. You won't really regret it. It really makes things easier. Also, when you're starting in the game, you get a chance to buy like the early starter packages. If you're really gonna be taking Cypher seriously, I really suggest that you guys buy those. Everything. You get so much rolls, you get vessels, you get cores, you get everything you need in order for you to jumpstart your Cypher journey. And yeah, it has almost been an hour and we didn't even do arena yet, which I'm gonna be discussing on my other videos. But wow, we spent 50 minutes talking about Cypher. And guys, once again, I am Sil. And if you want more Cypher contents, you can actually just hit the subscribe button in YouTube. You can also follow me on Twitter. It's Sil Gaming NFT. It's Sil Gaming PH, I think. On Facebook. Let me check. I even forgot my own link, but if I'm not mistaken, it's really yeah, it's still gaming ph on Facebook. I will stream Cypher there. On YouTube, it's still gaming ph as well. Just click the subscriber button, and yeah, hit also the bell button, and I'm gonna be doing more Cypher contents in the future. On Twitter, it's still gaming NFT, and I also have a TikTok where I'm gonna be posting my reels, my short form tutorial and tips, and it also is gonna be involving highlights, montages from my shoutcasting for Cypher, and some montage for my gameplays as well when I actually do play. So yeah, that's all the socials that I have. And thank you so much if you have been watching this from the first minute up until right now. I really want to commend you guys. And yeah, I really have nothing much to say. But see you guys in Sipheria. This is Sil. And yeah, see you around the game and chat with you guys. GG's.